I had this brilliant epiphany one day of that if I met somebody who had different exposure, could it be possible that they would be more open-minded to dating or even hanging out with somebody of a different race? And the reason why I had this epiphany is that, unfortunately, we do tend to, because we're such a cliquey species, we do tend to stick to our own because a lot of times it's safer, it's familiar, it's recognizable. And I mean, if you think about it, even in the animal kingdom, it's usually less likely where different species, if you're a hyena, you don't usually hang out with vultures because of the hyenas will most likely kill the vultures. If you're an elephant, you probably wouldn't hang out with tigers because the tigers are dangerous for the elephants. The elephants can stomp the tigers. It's not in our biological makeup to hang out with things that are different and unfamiliar. It's unsafe. And so a lot of times it's in our DNA to be kind of fearful of the unknown. We tend to differ ourselves from people who are of different color because a lot of times we think that it might not be safe, we might not be accepted, we might not be liked as much, we might not know as much. It's fear of the unknown. So when we think of white girls like white guys, it's because that's all they really ever know. And a lot of Asian guys only date Asian girls because that's all they ever know. Really, the limiting belief is believing that whatever race you are, you usually only like the other race. Actually, to dig deeper, the fact is that is not true. White girls don't just like white guys. It's whatever they're exposed to. It's whatever you are exposed to that's what you only like. I'm going to go into how to break this kind of limiting belief a little bit later, but it's if you grew up in an area where you went to SAT class after high school, that's something I did. That's the norm for you. If you grew up eating tons of Asian food, rice, fried rice, I mean, that's what you like, right? And trying something new might be scary, or it might be just not the first thing on your list when you think of an ideal, right? If you've never had baba ganoush, Mediterranean food, or sauerkraut from Germany, you're not going to be thinking these foods as your ideal, as what you want, what you're craving when you're hungry. And so a lot of times I find that people who are kind of small town, closed-minded, who haven't been abroad a lot, who haven't traveled outside the country, they're usually more limited in what they desire and what they crave and what their understanding of the world. It's usually the people who are less traveled, who are less curious about the outside of their little town, who maybe don't watch diverse programs, or maybe don't speak multiple languages, or maybe and this doesn't just happen to white people. This happens to people of all different ethnicities and races. Because, I mean, the fact of the matter, if you're watching this and you're not white and you're in America, well, first of all, you have a great opportunity to be exposed to diverse cultures, but you could just be an Asian guy in China, in your small town, and you are not very much exposed to ethnicities or cultures outside of your group. And that guy, that Chinese guy, who's in a small town right now in China, picking, I don't know, fruits and vegetables, and he's a farmer, and he goes home and he has a small TV and he watches Asian programs because he doesn't really speak any other language other than Mandarin or Cantonese or small town dialect. He's only exposed to what he knows, and he's not dreaming about things that maybe we dream about, being in such a diverse culture. Like, I'm an Asian guy, and sometimes I crave Mexican food, or I'll crave Mediterranean food, and I'll want tabbouleh, or I'll want spaghetti, or I'll like American food, or poke bowls from Hawaiian influence. It's really a blessing and a curse. And I think being in Orange County in LA, or if you're in New York, other diverse parts of the world, we're really pioneers. And being pioneers, it's really kind of a scary unknown path. And so when I do think of the majority of white guys dating white girls, just because the majority of people do it doesn't mean it has to continue being that. It means to me that let's study this and let's look at the way it works so we can break it down and reconstruct it and create our own reality.